They laughed at you, not a casual, dismissive laugh, but a full, booming, mocking laughter that tried to crush your spirit before you could even take your first step. They laughed when you dared to dream out loud, when you spoke of visions bigger than their limited minds could comprehend. They didn't just doubt you, they dismissed you. Who are you to think you can be different? Stay in your lane, they said. They made you a punchline at their parties, a target for their small jokes. Every sneer, every rolling eye, every whispered mockery, it was their attempt to chain you to mediocrity. But what they didn't know was that each laugh, each insult, each condescending word, it wasn't destroying you, it was forging you. While they laughed, you worked, in silence, in solitude. You worked when the world slept. You worked when motivation abandoned you, and only sheer willpower kept you moving. You worked through the loneliness, through the fear, through the heartbreak of failure after failure after failure. There were no cameras, no cheering crowds, no viral moments. Just you, and your dream, and a stubborn raging fire inside that refused to die. You studied when no one cared. You trained when no one watched. You sacrificed when no one applauded, because you understood something they didn't. Greatness is never handed to you. It's earned, painfully, quietly, over countless invisible battles. You stumbled, of course you did. Some days, the weight of it all felt unbearable. You questioned yourself. You doubted your sanity. You wondered if it would have been easier to just give up. There were nights when you cried so hard you couldn't breathe, when you screamed into the void begging for a sign, any sign, that it was all going to be worth it. There were mornings you woke up exhausted, bruised and broken, only to force yourself up and keep moving. You faced rejection after rejection, setback after setback, heartbreak after heartbreak, but you kept standing, not because it was easy, not because you were fearless, but because some part of you believed the dream was bigger than the pain. They thought your silence was weakness. They mistook your humility for insignificance. While they shouted, you listened. While they boasted, you learned. While they mocked, you mastered your craft. In the dark, away from their noisy world, you became a force they couldn't see coming. You endured seasons of invisibility, not realizing that you were being hidden for a reason. Not forgotten, but prepared. Every small improvement, every tiny gain, every microscopic victory built upon itself, invisible to them, but monumental to your journey. Because greatness doesn't announce itself with trumpets and banners, it reveals itself quietly, steadily, inevitably. While they sought immediate gratification, you invested in patience. While they demanded instant results, you nurtured long-term vision. You understood the beauty of the slow burn, the art of delaying pleasure for a reward that was worth infinitely more. You watched others sprint ahead, celebrating premature victories, only to burn out and disappear. You stayed steady. You stayed hungry. You stayed committed to the invisible, grueling, unglamorous work that builds unshakable foundations. While they built castles on sand, you built yours on bedrock, stone by stone, pain by pain, sacrifice by sacrifice. And then, one day something shifted. A door cracked open, an opportunity appeared, a small breakthrough. The first ripple of the wave you had been creating for years, quietly and invisibly. And as you walked through that door, as you seized that opportunity, everything they said you couldn't have started unfolding before you. Suddenly, you were standing on the very ground they said you would never touch. You became the very success story they said wasn't written for people like you. And when you looked back, you realized every painful step, every lonely night, every moment of doubt, it was all worth it. It was all necessary. Now they watch you with awe. The laughter is gone. The mocking has evaporated into uncomfortable silence. They whisper among themselves, searching for an explanation. How did they do it? What changed? But you know the truth. Nothing changed, except that you never gave up. You stayed when they left. You believed when nobody else did. You fought battles they never even knew existed. And you did it without asking for permission, without begging for applause, without needing anyone's validation but your own. You didn't win because the path was easy. You didn't win because you had all the answers. You won because you kept showing up when it was hardest to show up. You won because you decided, every single day, to get back up when life knocked you down. You endured humiliation without losing your dignity. You embraced failure without letting it define you. You allowed pain to polish you instead of destroy you. And somewhere along the way, the person who was once laughed at became unstoppable. Today, you are a living testament to the unbreakable human spirit. You are proof that belief beats doubt, that grit beats talent, that perseverance beats privilege. You are the story they will tell in hushed tones, the one who wasn't supposed to win, the one who wasn't meant to survive, the one who rewrote the ending. You turned your wounds into wisdom, your scars into armor, your rejections into rocket fuel. You built a life so solid, so undeniable, that even the ones who once laughed are now forced to respect it. And you did it all not because they believed in you, but because you believed in yourself when it mattered most. So when they laugh again, and they will, let them. When they doubt you again, and they will, smile. Because now you know, their laughter is powerless, their doubts are meaningless, you are beyond their reach. You are no longer chasing approval, you are chasing purpose. Keep walking, keep building, keep believing, because the formula will never change. They laughed, you worked, you won, and in this life, that is the greatest story you will ever tell.